Hello, I'm here near the creek and I just wanted to show you the creek is so nice and so full today. So much water and I'm so happy to just see all this beauty and to share my enlightenment with you. You know, I was walking down here and I was sort of talking with myself and I was basically reiterating something that my friend Annemiek was saying. She was talking about the silence that she is feeling when you talk with yourself, and that silence, that is our enlightenment. Yeah, that is our language enlightenment. And I feel that very strong today, and I want to let you know about it. So I was just also wondering, I was talking with myself and saying like, yeah, what do I want to do with my enlightenment? You know, it's kind of funny that you can speak like that. And I also have had my hesitation too to speak about that and to actually acknowledge that it is that is, what do I want with it? What can I do with it? What do I want to do with it? And also, you know, I was just walking on the path and there was a big pile of dog shit. And I said, well, my enlightenment doesn't want me to step in the dog shit. Yeah. So, yeah. No, my enlightenment is it's very peaceful. It wants to share itself with you. But it shouldn't cause me any trouble. You know, it shouldn't be any problem for me to do that, because the moment it becomes a problem, I don't want it anymore. It kind of defies the purpose, or there is no purpose. But no, I actually came up with something interesting. You know, I said to myself, and it's true. You know, like, as long as you're still busy adjusting yourself to your so-called enlightenment, that I don't know, that you're still that you have to be busy with this or with that. You know, that it so supposedly has to do with this or that. Of course, it has nothing to do with anything. You know, but nevertheless, you know, at any given time, you know, you kind of feel like your enlightenment wants you to do something like this or something like that. Wants you to go out for a walk, be near the creek. And at another time, it also says, no, you shouldn't step in that dog shit. But in any case, as long as there is still this sort of, idea or this notion that it has to do with this or that it has nothing to do with this or that you have to avoid it. It's not your enlightenment yet. You are not fully adjusted yet. So I'm still in the process, you know, getting used to my enlightenment. And I don't feel any hesitation acknowledging that. I've actually I've already spent quite some years trying to adjust to it. It's just you never get quite used to it. Okay, but you know, I just keep going back to my silence. And then I start talking again. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm not very much of a quiet person. But I can be very quiet too, you know, in my own way. You know, it reminds me of an old friend we once had. You know, Bonnie and I, we once, you know, when we first met, we were actually sharing a house with another couple, and And this one guy, his name was Gary. Gary was all the time smoking pot, and he was all the time stoned, and he would just talk and talk and talk and talk. You're like, oh my God, man, can you ever shut up? But he also had a great sense of humor too, you know. And Gary, one time he said to me, he says basically I'm a very meditative person. And he was right, you know. I remember one time he was baking a bread, and there was dough, you know, dough from the bread. There was dough all over the place, and it was stuck in the carpet. And Barney, my wife, she was totally upset with him because he had sort of just spilled dough all over the place. Yeah, now we can laugh about it. But at those days, we were having arguments about this. Yeah. Anyways, now that was it for today, and so yeah, no, I'm still trying to get used to my enlightenment, and yeah, for everybody it is different. You know, you cannot, I cannot decide for you or tell you how it is. I cannot even tell myself how it is. Every time I tell myself it is like this or like this, it is different. But, you know, of course it has to do with listening to yourself, and of course you do get into your language enlightenment, because I call it actually language enlightenment, because it has to do with your embodied language. And without that embodied language, it's not going to happen. And so it hasn't happened. Let's just face it. You haven't had embodied language, and that's why you haven't had language enlightenment. You couldn't have it. Yeah. So there are certain things that you can do. But then once you reach it, once you begin to have it, you're kind of like, you just think like, okay, and now what? Okay, well, you know, you'll figure it out. Anyway, I just thought I made a video today. Isn't that gorgeous here? Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Now, okay, see you later.